Hey, what's up gamers? Today's video is about MEI's lore. We are at Echo Point Antarctica. It's cold as fuck and I just want to get out of here. Jesus Christ, what is this place? I think I saw some dead bodies in the other room.
你好，冻住，不许走。 Sorry, I'm sorry.
Overwatch, by the end of the Omnic crisis, was already an established worldwide peacekeeping task force. Despite the lack of major conflicts, the divide between humans and Omnics persisted. Constant development of new technologies, growing population of Omnics, and exploitation of Earth's resources could have been the cause of unusual climate anomalies. However, the real reason was still unknown, so to find a solution to the rapidly changing climate, Overwatch established a chain of echo watchpoints at remote, critical locations worldwide. MEI Ling Jiao, being a world-renowned climatologist, was assigned to Echo Point Antarctica. This region was experiencing strong blizzards. The team stationed there was tasked with collecting and analyzing the data about the weather phenomenon. When the base was hit by a storm, they lost contact with the outside world. Their supplies and energy started to dwindle not long after. However, scientists remained calm and optimistic. They had a solution for emergencies like this one. They could wait it out by going into cryosleep. MEI updated her journal and left the sensors on, so when they wake up there will be a lot of new data to look through. Then she joined her colleagues in the cryopods and the whole base went to sleep with a raging polar storm outside. MEI was the first one to wake up and was greeted by her flying Roomba pet called Snowball. She changed and checked the data collected by the system and quickly realized that something was wrong. The weather anomaly was much worse than predicted, and as a result of malfunction, they have been asleep for 9 years. MEI tried to communicate with the outside, but their comms were damaged. However, she was able to see some of the accumulated reports about what happened while she was asleep. The disbanding of Overwatch meant that no one was even going to look for them. Worried, she went back to the cryolab to check on the rest of the crew. To MEI's despair, all her friends didn't survive the malfunction of cryopods. Now she was all alone and no one was even going to save her. She broke down, crying. After regaining composure, she got to work. Dish was broken, which prevented her from calling for help. Snow trucks as well as the helicopter were out of commission because of the storm. Sight of the endless Antarctic landscape discouraged her from just hiking her way out of here. Then she noticed a message that had been sent on Overwatch's emergency frequency. Maybe someone knew that she was still here, but to find out, she first had to do something about the broken radio tower. She gathered parts from all over the base and constructed her first prototype of her endothermic blaster. But just about when she was done, the last battery died and the whole base lost power. Snowball sacrificed its battery to allow her to finish what she started. With use of her new invention, she was ready to climb the radio tower. The damaged frame of the radio tower has given out under the additional weight, leading to an explosion. MEI used her blaster in the last possible moment and stopped the tower from collapsing. After making her way to the top, she was finally able to see the message from Winston about Overwatch recall. MEI paid her respects to her deceased friends and, inspired by Winston's words, set out with a sled of supplies. She was also able to recharge Snowball's battery using solar energy. Then she traveled to Gibraltar, where she met Winston and Tracer. MEI decided to continue her climatology work, hoping to re-establish the network of echo points and track down the anomalies that endanger the plant's ecosystem. Winston convinced her to write a blog/journal about her adventures and research. One of her avid readers that we know about was Diva. Anyway, she started writing her journal while testing out new gear in Yukon near Mount Logan and studied the local wildlife. Later, she took a break and traveled to Los Angeles to see Six Gun Killer. Last but not least, she headed to Asia to investigate abandoned Overwatch stations there. We also know that she returned to Watchpoint Gibraltar to spend Christmas with her friends from Overwatch. The link is in the description if you want to read it for yourself.
Gibraltar is bigger than I remember. Or maybe it's just that I've never seen it so empty.
Paris was the first major city that came under attack during the Null sector invasion, so MEI had to put her journey on hold for the time being. She flew to Paris in an Orca ship with Winston and Tracer. Before landing, she expressed her doubts how only 3 of them could save the whole city. Her self-doubt was justified because it was going to be her first time seeing actual combat. Once on the ground, they cleared out a wave of Omnics and saved civilians caught in the crossfire. An Omnic Titan appeared and our heroes were outgunned. Its massive laser destroyed their ship and caused a chain explosion. MEI in the last second managed to wall off the civilians, but the blast hit her with full force. She was severely injured and couldn't continue the fight. Winston acknowledged the situation and was ready to sacrifice himself just so they could retreat to safety. Lucky for them, Genji has shown up at the last second and deflected the incoming fire. Then they were also joined by Reinhardt, Brigitte, Mercy and Echo. Mercy has healed MEI's wounds, Brick and Rain provided cover, and Echo has bought them some time by distracting the Titan. Winston came up with an idea to combine MEI's freeze tank with Tracer's pulse bomb. Oxton managed to get the improvised explosive device into the Omnic Titan. Bob detonated after a delay, freezing the Titan, which subsequently shattered under its own brutal weight. At this point, they won a battle but not the war. Paris was only the first of numerous locations attacked by Null sector.
Weather report, killer robots. Wait, that can't be right.
MEI, alongside the new reborn Overwatch, has traveled to Rio in response to Lucio's distress call. After finding their way through city streets, they got onto a hostile command ship. Once their business on board was concluded, they had to evacuate as fast as possible. Orca's ship couldn't get any closer to the cargo bay, so they were forced to jump. MEI has cleverly used her blaster to create a ramp for Reinhardt to safely make the jump. With everyone on board, they have flown back to Gibraltar, where MEI had a chance to meet the rest of the new Overwatch. Together, they discussed their plan of attack against the Null sector. Their next mission took them to the streets of Toronto, where they helped with evacuation of the civilians and got in contact with soldiers.
And then we found out there will be no more fucking story missions!
Now, let's take a look at some of MEI's interactions.
MEI, I love reading your journal. I'm so jealous you get to go to all those places.
That's true. I guess you don't get to travel very much. I really need some new clothes.
Let me take you shopping in Seoul. I'll find you all the cutest stuff.
Wait, really? I mean, wow! That sounds fun!
Someday, I'm gonna finally travel the world. Got any tips?
Travel light. But you never know when you need more socks. And underwear. And shirts. Oh, and pants.
I love your glasses. So cute.
Oh, thanks. I like yours, too.
We should compare notes sometime.
That would be great. What's your opinion on the Tobelstein's gravitational models? MEI, if you don't have anything else going on, you should come celebrate the holidays with Tracer, Emily, Athena, and me.
I'd love to. We could have hot pots.
Winston, what are your plans for the holidays?
You should come to Gibraltar with Tracer, Emily, Athena, and me. I can't wait for our next hot pot, MEI.
Next time I'll get more peanut sauce for you.
Maybe without all the spice?
Winston, that's the best part.
Can you look at my report later? Something seems off.
Winston, you know what I'm going to say to that.
Of course. I know I can always count on MEI. Anyone want to hear my favorite joke about the periodic table?
Nah.
I was wondering if I could take a look at your little robot.
I suppose so. Just keep that hammer to yourself.
Dr. Joe, you've made quite the name for yourself.
Oh, thank you. I think there's always more to learn.
Quit being so humble. Nothing wrong with being proud of your work.
The front lines are no place for a scientist.
I guess it's a good thing I have you to watch my back.
I was just in the kitchen. Anyone have something they want to confess?
I saw someone steal your leftovers, but I'm afraid to say who. Oh, I feel like I'm forgetting something.
All you need for battle is your heart and your head.
What about a hammer and shield?
Bonuses!
Hey, McCree, do you know what time it is?
Well, I'd say it's about... Now, I see what you're doing there. Hey, Dr. Joe, is it gonna rain?
Looks like a 30% chance of precipitation.
So maybe. The marvels of modern science.
Dr. Ziegler, I don't think you've aged a day since I last saw you.
And neither have you, May. May, you haven't aged a day. What's your secret?
Cryostasis, but I'm not sure if I'd recommend it. Look at all the snow! We should make snow angels!
Why are you looking at me, May?
Dr. Zhao, I'm interested in your colleague's research into the long-term effects of cryogenic freezing.
Oh, well, yes. I'm sure. Maybe.
I've read your report on cryogenically preserving severed appendages. I'd be happy to assist in your research.
No, thank you. I don't think our methodologies are very aligned.
Of course. I've heard you prefer working alone.
Arisa, you are adorable!
I will pass your feedback on to Ify. I believe that she will be pleased.
Have you gotten bigger, Arisa?
My dimensions have not changed. Does the javelin make me look taller?
A little, but I still think you're just as cute as before.
Oh, that is... Thank you.
Brr. I get cold just looking at you.
Then you should look somewhere else. You're just a no-good bully. How can you even look at yourself in the mirror?
I beg your pardon, I consider myself a freedom fighter. A misunderstood one.
I hate bullies like you.
That's cold.
Knock knock.
Who's there?
Atch.
Atch who?
Sounds like you have a cold. Let me heal you up.
Are you going to the gym when we get back?
No way! Today's my cheat day. I'm gonna eat a whole apple pie and sleep.
Cheat day? Is that allowed?
Of course! My workout, my rules.
If you know what you're looking for, inquiry is unnecessary. But if you don't know, how do you inquire?
Well, maybe you know a little bit and you keep asking questions until you figure it out.
I saw you training yesterday. Can I give you a tip?
Sure.
Widen your stance. It might feel strange at first, but it keeps you balanced.
Oh, thank you, Sojin. I'll try that next time. Doomfist, how can you live with yourself? So many people have died because of you.
Yes, but many more have lived.
That makes no sense. Do you hear yourself? Ugh, you're the worst.
Could you describe the taste of chicken rice?
Oh, it's very tender and tasty, but subtle?
Thank you. It was Dr. Liao's favorite dish.
I'll have some and explain it better next time. I saw you carving wooden charms earlier. Can I see?
I have not honed my skills enough.
Oh, ice might be easier. Want me to show you?
Perhaps.
Why do you apologize so much?
I guess there's a lot I feel sorry about. Don't you?
It doesn't matter. Anyone I would apologize to is gone.
I know how that feels. Chaser, you're so amazing. You inspire me.
May, you're the real hero. Aren't you born wearing all that?
Yes, but it's too late to change. Bastion, you would make the perfect research assistant.
Genji, remember the time you tripped over your sword in training?
No way!
It only happened once.
Once was enough.
Oh my gosh, a hamster! So cute!
Do not call the hamster cute.
Oops, sorry. 可它真的太可爱了，雪球。
最后警告你一次。
I can't imagine you're here to do research. Why are you fighting?
I'm here to make a difference in the world. Just like you, right? Do you ever make snowflakes with your light?
Regularly. Their repetitive patterns bring peace to my mind.
Great! We can build a snow fortress.
So I'm trying to ask everybody this. What is your favorite animal?
Oh, I like penguins.
Yeah, I can see it.
My friend Jai works here. She and I had a lot of fun in grad school. Maybe too much. Let's show them what a team of scientists can do.
So now you know the whole story of Mei so far, and her interactions with other characters. However, now I would like to turn your attention to two maps that contain more lore details connected to Mei and her friends.
Remember, Mei, they wouldn't want you to be sad.
Mei, is this where you were stationed before? Mei?
Oh, it's nothing, Winston.
At the Echo Point Antarctica in the climatology lab we can find Mei's desk. She is probably responsible for all the posters around the base. On the wall there's also a drawing of Winston. She made a note about the unexplained weather anomaly. There's a note wishing Mei happy birthday in the crew quarters. She also has a second workstation at the Antarctic Peninsula labs. In the calendar she tracked when to recharge Snowball. The base has an AI that plays some messages. They are really quiet, so you probably missed them.
Temperature instability detected in deep freeze storage, sublevel 1. Weather forecast in progress. Warning. Barometer offline. Monthly scan complete. Penguin population in Sector 2 increasing. Disturbance in stratosphere detected. Scanning. Unable to identify disturbance. Signal detected at 71 degrees, 1 minute, 9.5 seconds south and 60 degrees. Signal lost. Structural integrity warning in sublevel 1. Warning, only 27 years of battery life remaining. Dr. Adams, your mailbox is nearly full. Virus scan complete. No new threats. Daily Yeti scan begun. Daily Yeti scan ended. 0 Yetis found total. You have a new message from Dr. Joe. Automatic distress call received from Icebreaker Resolute.
Overwatch lost contact with the base for longer than expected because of the storm. The hibernation survivability window expired, and sometime later they sent a ship to recover what was thought to be their bodies. The Icebreaker Resolute was sent on a recovery mission, but the weather anomalies were still causing chaos in this region. The ship got stuck and an automatic distress signal was sent out. And any further rescue attempts were abandoned because somewhere around that time, Overwatch HQ in Switzerland got blown up and the whole organization ceased to exist. Alright, now let's talk about the science team from Echo Point Antarctica. From the left, Adams, a researcher from the US. It's not confirmed, but I think he was the one who brought Mei a drink in the Rise and Shine cinematic. His desk can be found in the Anomaly Research Lab at the sub-level. He was analyzing anomaly reports from all over the region. Next up, McCready, an engineer also from the US. She doesn't have her own desk anywhere, but she probably spent a lot of time in engineering at the sub-level. Also, in the Mei's calendar we can see that she was about to celebrate her birthday. Maybe Mei was planning a surprise for her. Next is Captain Opara from Numbani. He was in charge of the place.
Dr. Zhou, did Captain Opara make it back as well?
I'm afraid not.
He was a good man.
He thought the same about you.
At the Antarctic Peninsula, inside the cryonics lab, we can find his desk, along with his signature glasses and a cigar. Also in the cinematic, the cryopod Mei looked into belonged to Captain Opara. Next, Torres from Spain. He was presumably the youngest one of the bunch, and along with Captain Opara, specialized in cryonics. His desk is similar to the one Mei had, and here we can also hear the same messages playing from the speaker. Behind this room we can find crew quarters, where they had their own lockers.
I heard someone climbed over tunnel without ropes. Oh, Taurus would have been so jealous.
Last but not least, Arrhenius, a climatologist from Sweden. She probably worked together with MEI in the field of climatology. Her desk can be found in the hydroponics lab. Also, it's possible that this character was named after our Swedish scientist Svante Arrhenius, who also researched climate change. As you can see, despite the multitude of details, there is still a lot of room for speculation around Antarctica in the Overwatch universe. My favorite theory is that the weather anomalies in this region were caused by Omnic activity. Imagine if there was a still functioning Omnium facility under the ice somewhere. It's also a perfect location for rogue Omnics to hide, because humans won't bother them there due to the extremely low temperatures. Now it's time for trivia. MEI's early concepts featured a tall slender climber with an ice pick. Then it transformed into a bounty hunter with a cryo cannon. But this was also changed because it was too similar to Zarya. Also, early in the development she was called Frostbite instead of MEI. It's possible that some of her abilities were recycled from other ice-themed characters called Yetzi and Frost. As you could have guessed, these two didn't make it to the final version of the game. Game developers at Blizzard Entertainment have a tradition that in every game they make, there must be a character with an ability called Blizzard. In the case of Overwatch, it's up to MEI and Snowball to carry on with the tradition.
Weather report! A storm is rising!
This voice line is a reference to the Rising Storm co-op mission from the Archives event in Overwatch 1. So, MEI, despite the tragic events in her life, has always remained optimistic. Her devotion to saving Earth's ecosystem is admirable. MEI's story is relatively short and simple, yet it manages to be interesting and deep because of all the details we discussed in this video. Thanks for making it to the end of the video. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed it, and see you guys in the next one.